So this video is sweeping the media right now. It's going viral on Twitter. It already hit 2.5 million views in like a couple hours. And this does not look good for the Nigerian community, for the state of Nigeria. Not the literal state. I know Nigeria is a country, but the state, the current situation of Nigeria, it does not look good at all. There was a IQ test done, and the results are just absurd. The results are just outrageous. And IQ is it's a very soft subject. It's a very topic that could get you censored. It's the mainstream doesn't like to talk about IQ. This is a very censored conversation, a very banned conversation. And because IQ is actually, it determines a lot of things when you're talking about a society. IQ is a huge factor, possibly the primary factor of how well your society is going to function. Because we'll get into the specifics after the video, but yeah, people are not going to like this. I'll just say that. But the truth is the truth. Facts are facts, guys. We can't cope. We can't cope. We can't cope. We can't cope. We got to deal with the facts as they are.
Our candidate included a mix of young and old participants, male and female, as well as A-level student. Everyone who
A-level students, the best and the brightest, the smartest people they got.
participated was above 16. Only 3% of the participants scored 102.
102 was the highest score. Only 3% of people scored 102. That's the highest percentage.
And another 3% scored over 80 and
By the way, 102 is just like the average IQ in like Hong Kong.
over 90, respectively. The highest group, 26%, scored 69, followed by the second highest group, 20%, scored
Yowza.
76.
Yowza.
Disappointingly, 52%.
Woo! Sheesh. Moment of silence for Nigeria, man. This is absurd. 52% of people scored below a 70 IQ. Let me do some research because I don't know, because I don't want to be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure that's like clinical. That is like a prescription. If you're below 70 IQ, that's like a not a disease, but that's an issue, like clinically. I'm pretty sure we diagnose people for that. Let's see. What level of IQ is mental retardation? So, mental retardation, typically referred to as intellectual disability. You could be on disability for this in America, by the way. I don't know if you could actually get on disability, but it is a disability, intellectual disability. So IQ score is intellectual disability is generally defined by an IQ score below 70 to 75. So 52% are reaching a mental retardation intellectual disability level. And that's very that's not great. That's not great news. That's not a great thing to hear. That doesn't make anybody happy. But if you actually want to fix a problem, you really want to change things, step 1 is addressing that problem. And that's something that people don't want to do. They've been running away for years. They've been running away from this conversation. They've been coping. Oh, IQ tests are racist. And oh, IQ tests don't mean anything. And IQ is a social construct. And IQ, it doesn't even matter. And it's not objective. And it's not whatever they want to say. It's not correlative. It's not it. And it's just more cope and more cope and more excuses and more excuses. And this is, they think that they're being nice or they think that they're helping, but they're not helping. Helping would be addressing the problem and fixing the problem. You walk up to a fat person, you don't call them fat. You're not helping them. They're going to go have an heart attack. I'm helping them by calling them fat. I'm the real hero here. So, this is outrageous.
Of participants scored below 70, accounting for half of our candidates. Overall, the average score was 73, while the median was 69.
This is significantly lower than the average and median IQ in Western and Eastern Asia. Yeah. Oh, duh.
This raises some pertinent
As I just said, Hong Kong, vindicated.
questions. How does IQ affect a population's ability to invent, produce, develop, or run a country? Is the IQ test really useful?
So, yeah, I'll go ahead and answer that question that he asked at the end. How does the IQ prevent or determine the ability to run a country? Well, people don't even understand how deep and important IQ actually is and how much it's used today in business, in the systems that we run. Management level. Well, mid-management is already required 100 IQ on average. So you got your employees, you got your wage slaves. I guess those can be any IQ. But when you get to mid-management, you get to that management level or that, the assistant manager, stuff like that. That is like 100 IQ average. Now, when you get to your executives and your CEOs and your top managers, that's like a 125 IQ average. Right. So when you look at the hierarchies of business, the hierarchies of a system, the lowest, you got your peasants, you got your employees, you got your wage slaves, probably like 80, 90 IQ and lower. You got your mid-management, your managers, your assistant managers. You got around 100 IQ. You got your CEOs, your presidents, your governors, your executives, the people that manage the system as a whole, the overseers of the system. 120 IQ average. So when you see a country like Nigeria and the whole entire country is like 70 IQ, only 3% of people even qualified to be mid-management. We're not even talking about managers and CEO and executives. We're not even talking about the overseers of a system. We're talking about mid-management. Only 3% of them even are eligible for that position. And then the rest are 70 IQ and below. So, they're just not going to be able to function. And it's just as simple as that. It's literally just as simple as that. And that's honestly the claim, and that's honestly the reason and the answer that third world countries are third world countries. It's an IQ thing, because if you don't have anybody that's smart enough to run a business or anybody that's smart enough to start a company or run the government or run a system, then you're not going to have a system and you're not going to have order and things like that. It's just going to be like a free for all. It's going to be tribal. It's going to be a wasteland. It's going to be anarchy. It's going to be chaos. There's not going to be any order, And we can see this when Rhodesia, hope I pronounced that right, turned into Zimbabwe, which is just a tragic story. It's a tragedy what happened in Rhodesia in Zimbabwe. But so Rhodesia was pretty much controlled and overseen by white people. And, the white people had control of the farms and the economy and things like that. They were in the leadership positions. So these white people had what was called Rhodesia. It was a very high functioning country. It was a pretty much first world country. They had a good economy. They were producing a lot of products and agriculture and things like that. They were booming. And I think it was Mugaba, whoever it was that took control of Rhodesia. A black person gets in power. Black person is elected in power. And what is the first thing he does? He passes a law to take away the control of all the farms and the businesses away from white people and hands it to the black people. Literally, give me your farm, give it to the black person. It was an anti-colonization law. He was fighting colonists. He was fighting colonization. Well, he beat colonization. He beat it. He beat the evil colonists. And guess what? Guess what happened after the farms got the control shifted from the white people to the black people? Guess what happened? They went to those farms, the same farms that they worked on, by the way, as employees, the same farms that they've been working their whole lives. They went to those farms and looted the entire farm. Looted the farm. You heard me right. Looted the crops. They're literally stealing the crops. They're putting it in their bags. They're looting it. They're fighting over the crops. They're fighting over it. And then after they're done looting all the crops, they come back. They take the wood. They take the wood. They take the bark from the trees. They take everything so they can start fires and things like that. They looted the whole place. Now it's just dirt. There is no farms. And then everybody starved. Brutal. Everybody starved. And this is a true story, by the way. Everybody starved afterwards. And they were begging the same president that passed this law. I think a few years later, or a year later, he was begging for the white people to come back to oversee the farms. He was begging for the white people to come back, and he was offering them to pay them to come back. He was begging for them to come back, and I don't know if they came back or not. Probably not. I didn't see that part of it, but it's just really sad. It's really sad. And this is an issue. This is a problem. And I don't know whose brain. Well, I do know, but I guess the colonization agenda and that narrative is really a brainwashing tactic. Because if you look at Zimbabwe now, it doesn't look so good. And that's just the truth. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment, like, subscribe the channel. We're posting every day. We're live every day. We're always going to be on here giving you guys the juiciest videos, the best videos, the most important, most controversial videos. Things actually worth talking about, things that actually provoke thoughts, actually thought-provoking topics, and we're going to keep doing that. I'm on X all the time. I'm seeing all the craziest videos, the most eye-opening, content. So, but I'm going to be consistent though. I'm consistent with it. I'm not afraid to come out here and give my opinion. So like, subscribe, help out the channel, because we'll be helping you guys out.